Hello everyone, welcome back to IntelliGroup. Today we are going to discuss about one most important topic, or we can say one of the most important Spring Boot interview question, and that question is how do you implement pagination and sorting in REST APIs? We will be also looking into what is pagination, and there we will be study about page and size, and then we'll be looking into what is sorting, real implementation with live examples, and important interview questions from this topic where it would be why do we need pagination? What is the difference between pagination and sorting? Which Spring Boot classes are commonly used during pagination and sorting? And then finally, does Spring Boot generate SQL queries automatically? And then at last, we will be revising these concepts. But before we jump into Spring Boot code, let's first understand why pagination exists in the first place. Because if you understand the problem, the solution becomes very easy. Imagine your employee table contains 10 records. So, returning all records is perfectly fine. Even if you return 100 records, that is also still okay. 1000 records may be okay. But what if your table contains 1 or 10 million records? Now imagine a client calls your API. Should your API return all 10 million records? Of course not, because returning huge amounts of data creates multiple problems. Your API may become very slow, memory consumption increases, network traffic increases, response size become huge, and overall user experience become very poor. In real world applications like Amazon, Flipkart, Netflix, Instagram, LinkedIn, or Facebook, data is never written all at once. Instead, data is written in small chunks or in subsets. And that concept is called pagination. Let's take Instagram as an example. When you open Instagram, do you see all posts available in the world? No, right? You see only a small set of posts. Then, as you scroll, more posts are loaded. Then more, and so on. And that is pagination. Exactly the same concept is used in REST API as well. Instead of returning 10 million records, we return only a small subset of records. For example, we are making a call to this API by passing request parameter page is equal to 0 and size is equal to 10. This means give me page number 0 and return only 10 records. As a result, instead of returning millions of rows, the API returns only 10 records, due to which response is very fast, low memory usage, better scalability, and many more. Now let's understand two important terms. The first one is page and the second one is size. Let's say page is equal to 0. This represents the first page. If page is equal to 1, this represents the second page. If page is equal to 2, this represents the third page. And so on. Size means how many records should be returned per page. For example, if size is equal to 10 means return only 10 records per page. If size is equal to 20 means return only 20 records per page. And if we combine page and size together, API will become like this. This returns employee 1 to employee 10, while second API returns from employee 11 to employee 20. Now let's see how Spring Boot implement this. Spring Boot provides a very powerful interface called Pageable. Pageable represents pagination information such as page number, page size, and sorting information. Everything is stored inside Pageable interface only. Now let's go through the code and see how behavior works internally. If you see here, I have one controller class called employee controller. Inside this employee controller, I'm calling employee service, and then I have one API method. Here, if you see, I am expecting or passing two parameters. One is page and second one is size, and that will come as a request parameter. And we are passing this page and size to this employee service.getEmployee method. That's it. Seems very simple, isn't it? Spring Data JPA already knows how to handle pagination. We simply create a pageable object and pass it to the repository. The repository automatically generates SQL queries with limit and offset internally. So Spring Boot is actually helping us fetch only the required record from the database instead of loading everything into memory. Now let's run this application and test the behavior of pagination through Postman. Okay, so application is started. Let me go to Postman. So if you see here, this is the endpoint, and in the request parameter, I'm passing page is equal to 0 and size is equal to 3. So I click on send. Now if you see the content, this is the result. And here I receive 3 records. If you see below the sort object, sorted is equal to false, means we haven't applied sorting yet. And if you see the size, it is 3. Let me change this size and make it as 10. Bingo. Earlier we had 3 records, but if you see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, blah 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 10. So we have total 10 records. Now let me change the page size is equal to 1. So we discussed that if we give page is equal to 1, then the record will be returned from 11 to 20. So let me send the request. Awesome. If you see here, it is start from 11 and it till 20, means 10 records we have found. So this is the second page. On the second page, we are receiving 10 records. So this is how pagination works in Spring Boot. Now let's move to the second part of today's topic, and that is sorting. Imagine your application contains thousands of employees and a user says, show me employees with highest salary first, or show me latest employees first, or show me employees sorted alphabetically. This is where sorting comes into the picture. Sorting controls the order in which records are written. For example, you are giving sort by salary descending, means return employees sorted by salary in descending order. Highest salary first, lowest salary last. Similarly, we have sort by name ascending, which means return implies sorted alphabetically. So let's go through the code and see how Spring Boot handles sorting internally. So if you see in my employee controller, I have one get API. This method expects 4 parameters: page, size, sort by, and sorting direction, whether it should be ascending or descending. And all these 4 parameters is being passed to get employees method of employee service. So if you see here, first I'm trying to create a sort object, and then I'm trying to create a pageable object. This pageable object need 3 parameters: page, size, and sort. So what is happening here? Now pagination and sorting are working together. We are fetching only a subset of records, and those records are written in a specific order. This is exactly what happens in real world applications. Now let me run the application and see how the behavior works. Okay, application is started. Let's go to Postman. Before hitting the request for this API, let me explain you. So what I'm passing here, page is equal to 0, size is equal to 10, sort by first name, and sort action is equal to ascending. So what I'm trying to do here, I'm trying to fetch the record from first page, where I want to show 10 data on first page, and then I want to sort the data based on first name, and then that sorting will be done in the ascending order. So let me hit a request. Bingo. So what is happening here? If you see the full name and then ID, then you will understand, okay, my sorting is working fine, because here first name is Aaron and then ID is 62, and here first name is Ellen and then ID is 84. And if I scroll down, you will see here the sort section, sorted is equal to true. In the previous pagination request when we triggered, that time sorted was false. Now sorted is true. Now let me change this sorting direction. Instead of ascending, let me pass something descending and hit a request. If you notice earlier, everything was started A, and that means it was sorted in alphabetical order. But here it is sorted in reverse, means first W means William, Walter, Vincent, Valerie. So this is how sorting works in Spring Boot. Now let's look at some important interview questions. So first one is, why do we need pagination? To answer this question in interview, you can say that to improve performance and avoid fetching huge amount of data from the database. And the next question is, what is the difference between pagination and sorting? Answer would be, pagination controls how many records are written, while sorting controls the order of records. Question 3 is, which Spring Boot classes are commonly used? And then you can say that page, pageable, page request, and sort. The final question is, does Spring Boot generate SQL queries automatically during pagination and sorting? Answer would be yes. Spring Data JPA automatically generates SQL query with limit and offset internally. So let's quickly revise whatever we have learned so far. Pagination means returning data in small chunks or subset, while sorting means returning data in a specific order you want. Spring Boot provides page, pageable, page request, and sort to make pagination and sorting extremely easy. And that's how real world REST APIs are built. This is how pagination and sorting works in Spring Boot REST API. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you find this video helpful, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. See you in next video.